have a dream.
We choose to go to the moon.
And there's cities to be built, and there's a world to be helped.
I regard myself as a soldier.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight.
From where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole, down where your nuts hang.
I guess all of you would say this about your mother.
Welcome to History Squirt. I'm Ron Thompson.
And I'm Jason.
Okay, and before we kick it off this week, I think I'd just like to make some retractions on things said in previous weeks. I think I've been spreading some misinformation. So first one is the Pope hammer. I was reading about the Pope hammer. I think the actual hammer exists, but they don't hit the Pope in it. With it 3 times in the head after he dies. That's not real. Apparently they use it for like rapping on a door or something. Although I'm not the only person who was confused by this. Apparently it's been noted by even historians at certain points in time about this hammer. I think it's a rumor that's existed since like the late 1800s. So I'd like to retract that one about the dead Pope hammer. Apparently doesn't really, the hammer itself exists, but that is not the purpose or use of it. What else? Incitement laws in Australia do not reference class. So, I'd like to retract that one. I swear to God I read that many years ago, but I don't know if they've changed them since, but they do not now. So, interesting. I'm sure I've said many other things that are false or not true. Never misleading, though.
No, never misleading. Never misleading.
Never misleading. No. Yeah, never.
It's just stupidity.
It's stupidity. You could never you could never say that I was inciting anything or anything like that. But yeah.
You're not starting conspiracy theory. You are just a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. You're just a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about, saying stuff that's pissing people off. And who clearly cares about pissing said people off, which is why you're apologising now.
Maybe I should just spread misinformation.
No, just spread it. I'm claiming what I say now is history. That's just how this is now.
That's true. I don't know anything, so I can't really question that what you're saying is legit or not.
And now you're going to go to the pub, you're going to tell some of the boys, all of a sudden the misinformation's spreading and I could create a whole nexus of history because I said it on a podcast one time.
That's true. I go there and I'd be like, did you know that the Medici family, they actually kept Jesus as a slave in a small cage for years? A cage built by, Donatello of marble?
Probably.
I don't know. That's true as far as I understand.
Oh, yeah. You just said it to everyone. They could believe it. You want to apologise for that now or do you want to apologise later?
No, yeah, I think you apologise when you're caught. I think that's the way that's meant to go. You got to wait until you get caught and then you apologise.
Okay.
Because if you apologise before, well, I guess I shouldn't have. You're right. Because if you apologise before, then you're admitting that what you did or that what you did was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you only admit it after you're found to be at fault by someone else, you can go, oh, now I've learned that, what I did was wrong. I've truly come to understand that, I didn't believe it to be wrong at the time. It's the same as like fraud. So did you know that fraud, you can only be charged with fraud if you knew it to be a lie at the time?
Yeah.
So if you believe something to be true, it's not fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that. Can I ask a question? Why don't you just go back, as the episode hasn't been released yet, you could just go back, cut out the sorry at the start, and then we could have saved everybody 7-8 minutes of time.
We haven't even released the episodes that I'm talking about.
You can take it out right now.
Yeah, but that would take valuable time and effort, whereas I could just take more time from the listeners by apologising to them.
So you want to
redacting my comments.
You want to spend multitudes of minutes explaining to them the wrong history, then apologising for said multiple history, making them waste 7 to 8 minutes of their time because you don't want to change it.
Think about it this way: when the Daily Telegraph or like when a newspaper, when they print a mistake, right? they issue a retraction, right? And they put that out in text in the next paper. They don't break into people's houses, take the papers back, that had the misleading information in them. They don't go and seek out all these papers with the misleading information with them and destroy them. They just print a redaction. So I suppose that's what I'm doing right now.
But in your analogy, the newspaper hasn't been printed yet. It's still a white canvas that hasn't been the ink's not even on the paper yet, and you could change the ink, you could change the little machine.
I've made the prints.
You've made the prints. You could change the prints. Yeah, you could change the prints.
I think things are already in motion.
You know what?
Can't be stopped. If
you were to take those two things out as well, you could also then take out the 4 or 5 minutes of me giving you shit about doing said thing. This whole conspiracy is a whole podcast in itself.
These are good points.
You know who we're talking about today? As my
new
segue. We're talking about Rollo. Do you know who Rollo is?
I think you mentioned him in one of our previous podcasts, and I kind of went, ooh, like the chocolate.
Did I? I do like him.
I don't know, maybe.
He's the guy from... Have you seen the show Vikings?
No.
Oh, well, he's the Rollo from that, but that's not that historically accurate. Not that anyone really knows, his real story. But we're going to do our best. All right, Rollo's a Viking. Rollo's a Viking. He's known as Rollo the Walker. Early parts of his life are heavily disputed, but he's from the Scandinavian region, Norwegian, Denmark, that sort of place.
Was he able to do things other than walk?
Well, no, the reason he was called Rollo the Walker was because he was said to be too big to ride a horse. So he had to walk everywhere, yeah.
They didn't have draft horses, because those motherfuckers are pretty big.
I don't know. But obviously not, because then he wouldn't be walking, because he'd be riding that horse, wouldn't he?
That's true. Well, he could, maybe an elephant or something. Rhino.
Well, in Norway. In Norway.
Yeah. Okay. Give him a blanket in the winter.
Right.
We just have skin.
Yeah,
we just have skin, just like an elephant. We just put on clothes.
Right.
Our skin isn't grey, though.
He's not riding a horse.
Maybe that's the difference.
He doesn't ride anything. No horse, no elephant, no rhino.
Okay. It's a big unit.
He's born around 850 AD. Around, very ish. His family history was written by a guy called Dido, and he was 3 or 4 generations after Rollo was dead and was trying to talk up the family lineage. So the history's pretty dodgy. Mm-hmm. It said that Rollo was born of a noble lineage, and that his family had an issue with the king of Denmark. And when his father died, his lands were taken and Rollo was forced to leave. Okay.
How old was he?
Quite young, I assume. Probably about 15, I would think. This is very dodgy.
So I just need to. Okay, so what are we wearing? Are they wearing the classic? Well, did the hats with the horns exist?
No, the hats with the horns are also a myth.
Okay, fabricated okay. But they liked the horns though. They drank out of the horns.
Yes, they did.
And they used them as horns, as in.
Everyone had horns, yeah.
I mean the hominum, because a horned creature, but they would use the horns as horns.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Is that a question? I'm saying yes.
They would blow into them to produce a sound.
Everyone's got horns. I don't know why you're obsessed with horns now.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to work out what's happening. And these. So when he is kicked out of his homeland, can he sell Are they into pedophilia as much as the Greeks and that? Can he sell his pussy or his boy pussy? He can't.
No, he cannot. No.
Okay.
No, he's got to do what all Vikings do and go and raid a bunch of people.
Okay. All right. Good. Just got to get down to the brass tacks here.
You shouldn't bring that up because there's some disturbing things later that we don't want to talk about. So he set sail for England and spent about 13 years just raiding England. as a sword for hire.
So where's he getting in the boat from for these raids? Literally from Norway,
Denmark, no. Norway. Again,
how long
very
is that
dodgy history.
Trip on a boat, like days?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
get the right wind.
Okay, yeah. So they've got the rowboats with the sails.
Yeah, dragon ships.
Yeah. I've seen those. Yeah.
So he's just running there. He struck up a friendship with the King of England. Well, not the King of England, the King of East Anglia, and he was himself
what's East Anglia?
It's part of England. England's not combined at this time. It's a multitude of kingdoms.
Okay.
So he's made friends with one of them who happens to be, he's also a Viking. He's from Norway, Denmark, so there as well.
And these are the Anglos?
If you've heard of the Danelaw stuff, a lot of this is going on in England right now. It's basically where
Anglo-Saxons, something.
The Vikings raided, and then the Vikings started to settle, and then it was the Vikings versus the Anglo-Saxons.
Yes, I've heard of the Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, so I didn't want to go into that, but that's what's going on. But he's made friends with the guy in England. He's been raiding in there, from about the age of 15 to we're raiding for about 13 years across England as a sword for hire. The fact is, he's become friends with the King of England, or King of East Anglia. I should stop saying England. And it means he's got his own sort of, he's getting up in the world. Okay. So he takes a group of men and he seizes Rouen in 1876 and raids the land around it. It's a city in modern day Normandy, okay, north of France. So he's taken this city, and it's argued whether he took it or he raided it or he just kind of hung out and just took stuff from it, but he's just running around just causing problems for the French in the north of the country. They're too busy with infighting and the weakness of their own kingdom to deal with these problems. Yeah,
I do have a question. So
yeah,
why were they so successful? Is it because they would come with very little notice? They hadn't actually declared war on anyone. They would just basically turn up in these boats. It was kind of all over in a matter of seconds. People didn't have time to prepare. Is that kind of why they were so successful?
The second thing is kind of very silly. So your time period of how fast it is quite relative. So for example, I could land on a beach, walk 10 days, sack a city, walk 10 days back, and you say, did I have time to prepare an army? No, you wouldn't have, because
true.
Even though they were there for 20 days, for example, it's
you got to get word out, and then they got to
get word out, and they arrive, then they got to get people together, you got to get everyone together, you got to get them all in cohesion, then you got to march out and get them, and by the time that's happened, you're chasing them back to the beach, and they're quite happy to be chased. They want to go home anyway with their stuff.
Yeah, okay. But it was basically that, though. It's just that they'd turn up and then they were gone. You didn't know where they were going to hit, or they didn't really have feuds, right? So it's not like they're going, oh, I hate this guy, so I'm going to invade there, in which case you could kind of be prepared. They just turn up, loot, leave, done.
No, so there's a guy called...
they didn't have any technological advantage. It's not like their weapons were better or their ships were better.
Their ships were better for what they were doing. They were perfect for their type of activities. But no, the issue was that Europe had basically fallen apart after Charlemagne died, and all these children started fighting over Europe. So the whole kingdom was broken up and divided, and so the issue was that he'd be raiding France, but the issue is the French army's off fighting somewhere else and doesn't have time to go back and deal with these Vikings who are, there's 1,000 Vikings sitting in a city up in the north.
Yeah, okay.
You can't take your army away and go and kick them out because you're too busy dealing with another army that's fighting that you're infighting with. So they took a lot of advantage of that kind of stuff. Now, there was the siege of Paris in 885 AD. So hundreds of ships. So the Vikings were working in these warring, they were war bands. So you'd have so Rollo controlled a war band. So he had a group of men under him who followed him. And then there was a bunch of other people similar, had their own boats, own men. They all came together and besieged Paris. Thousands of men, hundreds of ships, and they just turned up to Paris and demanded tribute.
Tributes just pay us off and we'll leave.
Yeah. So the Vikings all got together, went, let's all go to Paris and see if we can get some money out of the French. So they all got together. They failed to take the city, but they were then allowed to leave and raid Burgundy, which was another city that was in revolt, another province that was in revolt in the middle of France. So he was in his own
Paris,
So
Paris was just fuck Burgundy.
Yeah, fuck Burgundy. He said, you guys can go down there and raid. They went, okay, sweet, and off they went. And Rollo was a key member in these war bands in this invasion. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So this has been going on for a while now. There's all these internal wars. We got all these Vikings running around everywhere, raiding everywhere, and the French have been paying them off to stop them from attacking all the time. So they're just they're just saying, take some money, go away.
Yeah, it's sort of like when you feed seagulls.
Yeah.
Like it's not, so yeah, they might go away for a second, but they're not. I read about this family once there was these two people living in this house, and they decided that they would feed these seagulls, right? And then so it got to the point where there was like hundreds of seagulls like coming to this house to to eat. Yeah. And eventually they got sick of it. Like they were like, oh dude, like there's too many seagulls, they'd be shitting everywhere, your house would just be covered in shit. So they decided to stop feeding the seagulls. But seagulls actually have a defensive mechanism where, so if they're threatened or whatever, they'll actually like vomit at the attacker. Like, so they'll like swoop in and vomit at the attacker. Anyway, and so when these people stopped feeding them, they started to view these people as like their enemy or like as their attackers. And so every time they would leave the house, they would have like hundreds of seagulls swooping in and like vomiting at them.
That can't be true.
It's true. I'll look it up. Actually, this is probably just more misinformation.
It's a good story. So,
that's what I mean. The story's good enough that, yeah.
Yeah, well, it got to the point where the French were, a third of their currency was in the hands of the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That seems like a huge amount of currency. So they decided to come up with a better idea. So Charles the Simple, yes, the king's current name is Charles the Simple. He creates the Treaty of Saint Clair sous Epte, which would mean that Rollo would become a lord of France. They would give him the region that he's been raiding for now almost 30 years. So he's now in his 50s at this stage when he's now signing this contract. He's just been living and raiding off in northern France for the last 30 years. But the king's, like we're saying, the king has decided to grant him the land, make him a lord of the French kingdom. He would pledge to convert to Christianity and defend the lands from Viking invaders.
Okay, yeah, defending against his brethren.
So the plan, it's a good plan. Plan is, we've got these Vikings that keep attacking us. Let's give the Vikings land that they've already held for almost 30 years and get them to fight the Vikings that keep coming and raiding us.
Yeah, it's sort of like giving the fox and the hen, giving the keys to the wolves, whatever that saying is, dude. I don't know.
I don't think that has anything to do with what we're talking about, though. That's more like...
Sure, it does.
Giving
the wolves the keys to the hen house or something. No, giving the wolves the key to the hen house or something. But, although I reckon they'll turn up and he'll be like, oh, hey, Oleg, what's up, dude? Yeah, no, don't. Not here, but down there, a few kilometers down the road. Yeah. That's where you can't
just come not here anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. But tell him where to go.
No, he actually stuck to this agreement quite well. Like, I know it sounds dodgy, but he swears full allegiance. I know how you love visions. So we got a vision, right? He agrees to this, and he converts to Christianity. And we're told that this is the reason. He had a vision of a high mountain of a Frankish dwelling, where he washed himself in the stream to rid himself of diseases from which he was infected. He then saw birds of all kinds gather around the mountain and wash themselves in the stream. And they built nests with twigs around him. The dream was interpreted to mean that the mountain was the church of Christianity, and the disease that would be rid and washed away would be him as a born-again Christian. So, like, there's all this bullshit about, like, how he like this great illustrious story about how he saw the true light and joined Christianity, but it's all kind of crap. He just decided to get baptized because he didn't want to cause any problems, and he still kind of practiced. He still kind of practiced
really reading deeply into that.
But it was just the
mountain.
The story written out by the historian who's telling this story is all about how he had this great vision of this mountain in a dream, and that's what converted him to the one true God. And it's like,
I'm imagining, I am imagining that soundscape or landscape, the birds putting the thing around him, and then, like Miley Cyrus's The Climb playing, it's the climb, that song?
I am aware of that song, yes.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm just curious. Why birds of all kinds?
The birds represent the armies and common people having their sins washed away. They were supposed to be the common people.
I see. Yeah, they would have all been different sorts of people. Different. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. So bit of a thing, but yeah, it's believed that he doesn't really believe any of this stuff. He seals the agreement with the French king by agreeing to marrying Gisela, possibly a illegitimate daughter of Charles. No one's really sure, but she is 5 years old at the time.
5. So I was going to be like, so based on all the other stories that we've sort of heard, he's in his 50s, so this girl's probably about 12.
Yeah.
Fucking 5 years old. Jesus Christ. Is that how you pick these? You were just like, I can't start. You're like, I've got to ease him into this. I can't just start out with, marrying a 5-year-old. So, because it started out as being like, 16, 14, and then it's like we're slowly getting lower and lower.
Get lower, yeah, no.
That's how you pick the stories.
I'm sure I can find you a baby.
There's not too many years left now.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find you a baby betrothal if that's what you're after. I'm sure that exists somewhere in history.
Okay, but she doesn't marry when she's 5.
No.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Yeah. All right.
We're not even sure it's very, again, the history is all dodgy about it. We're not really sure who she is, or we think she's possibly a legitimate daughter of the king, but because why else would he marry her? It seemed very odd to betroth her to this person. So, do you know where Normandy is on the map, by the way?
Well, I just like that he's like, you can have, he's like, well, I need some loyalty or whatever. So he's just like, but I don't want him marrying my real daughter. It's like you can have the illegitimate, trash daughter. She's yours. So I think now might be a good time to maybe take a break to do our ad read for this week. If you're interested in advertising with History Squirt, you can email us at historysquirt.podcast@gmail.com. Or if you want to hear about anything in particular on the podcast, any particular story from history, email us and we'll be happy to think about it. Want to take your career to the next level? Are you ready to upskill in an industry where experience and knowledge matters? Introducing the National Institute for Professional Sex Work and Erotic Sciences, Australia's premier provider of qualifications for the sex work industry. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your talents to new heights, we have a course for you. Certificate 1 in Foundational Sex Work will teach you the basics: communication, hygiene, awkward small talk, and JOI. Then you can look to expand your skills with Certs 1 and 2. A diploma of multi-client management will expand your knowledge of time management, emotional regulation, and anti-cramping techniques to keep you pegging for hours. A Bachelor of Applied Carnal Studies takes your education to the next level with a 3-year degree covering anatomy, kink negotiation, tax minimization, and how to fake a cum shot. And for those dedicated to the craft, we also offer a PhD in Professional Sex Work and Erotic Sciences. Doctoral research pathways are available for students seeking to publish groundbreaking topics like the long-term musculoskeletal impacts of reverse cowgirl in rural FIFO communities. Best of all, thanks to fee-free TAFE and Commonwealth-supported places, many of our courses are eligible for government funding. If you choose to pursue a bachelor's degree or higher, you'll also have access to HEX Help loans, which will allow you to defer $40,000 in tuition fees to potentially specialise in double fist anal trauma recovery services, as an example. So if you're ready to take the plunge, it's time to step up to the plate and grab the bull by the horns. It's your chance to get in the driver's seat, take the reins, and strike while the iron's hot to turn your passion into a profession and graduate with an open mind and open legs. The National Institute for Professional Sex Work and Erotic Sciences. Fuck harder, fuck smarter, fuck accredited. Do you remember the episode that I was talking about that we had that gave me this idea?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
I
think it was the Medici episode, I believe.
Was it?
Where we were talking about whether he was getting into the Whores Guild or not.
Yes. I have concerns that you're just trying to lure people into a large building to have your way with them. Like this is the casting couch 2.0, isn't it? Like this sounds like trap.
I think we'd have. I mean,
instead of just coming in for a 1 hour interview, you're going to spend 3 years here and pay me $40,000 for me to just fuck you in every way possible. This is the biggest scam. It's like I said, it's a casting couch on fucking steroids. Like, oh yeah, just come in for a 1 hour interview. Yeah, cool. That was it. Yeah, you just got.
There's there's obviously large theoretical components to the work.
There was. I saw that.
Sit down exams, that sort of stuff.
The study of economics in the pimp game was very important. Obviously, I thought that was interesting.
Exactly, like a good pimp slap.
Pimp slapping, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. How to do a good pimp slap.
So this is in fact a pimps and hoes college.
Yeah, I mean, either. Obviously, whatever you are, you can come.
I also like the specialities. The FIFO workers was a good speciality. I thought that was a great
Have you ever read? Yeah, like theses are so specific like that. It's got to be like some very specific topic. So I mean, obviously, and there's going to be like demonstrations. You may or may not be involved in those, right? So I wouldn't really say that's a casting couch situation. But what does it matter if you're going, if it's fee free, if the government's paying? What do you care?
It's you just gonna because as a person, I'm just gonna come and get fucked by you for 8 hours a fucking 8 hours a week. Like, what do you care? Just keep coming here. Also, put this in your ass. Like, we're trying to stretch it out.
Let me clarify. I would never fuck you. so you don't have to worry about that. I'd probably just, you could just watch for the demonstrations and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nothing to worry about. Everything's above board.
It's above board. Good certification. Now, here's my question, right? I got other questions. So, I know that there's a lot of videos on like surely their short careers. There's a lot of girl takes in the ass for the first time is, I'm fairly sure, a pornographic topic. You would be taking that topic away. They could no longer participate in that video. Or do you believe that those girls have actually taken in the ass before, and this is all just a lie, and it's part of the video?
Yeah. So one of our topics is sort of how to fake that sort of stuff.
Fake it.
Yeah, how to fake it. So we do some sort of light acting work, because we believe, or what we've seen from the porn industry is typically bad acting, and we sort of we want to address that. We want to see better acting in porn films.
That's the plan.
We want to believe that that you can't pay for your pizza, and that this is the only way for you to pay for your pizza.
What does that even mean?
Have you never said it's a classic porn?
Yeah, I know the classic pizza thing, but why would I have to put what, she's just gonna you don't want her to ever have to pay for a pizza, so she's just gonna have sex with your pizza boy she sees.
Well, that's what she does in the porn.
Yeah, okay. So you're teaching her how to seduce your pizza delivery boy.
Yeah, but sort of authentically, so like method acting.
All right, if you got 100 pizza boys and we sent them to a girl's house as an experiment to see how many would go inside and fuck her. Let's say we get some porn star and we get 100 pizza boys. How many pizza boys do you think are going in? Like before college and then after your college?
Probably a lot. But it's about believability. I need to believe that she can't pay for the pizza and this is her only option. Well, not her only option. That sounds really sad. but this is her chosen option in lieu of having the money to pay for the pizza.
I'm going to call bullshit on, even in the video, I think she always had the money for the pizza. She just wanted to fuck the pizza boy. I think that's the whole point of the thing. It's like, oh no, I don't have any money, but she definitely does. It's just a lie to fuck the pizza boy.
you just have no imagination, do you? You've got zero imagination.
I'm just saying, if the girl is going, oh, pizza boy, I need you to come in, I'm pretty sure she's got the money. She just wants to fuck the pizza boy.
Fine. What about this? Do you think that in other videos that the woman is really the guy's stepmother or stepsister?
Oh, no, definitely not.
But if the acting was good enough, would you believe it?
I guess so.
What if we produced fake birth certificates and other legal documentation that proved that they were in fact siblings? Or
people are really into fucking their mum's, their friend's hot mum. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these girls to adopt all these kids. So you're like, you want to fuck this dude's mum? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the business.
That's the business, you reckon?
Yeah, maybe just like fake documentation.
Hooking prostitutes up with adoption papers so that so that other people can live their fantasies of fucking their best friend's fucking mum.
Yeah, we're basically just going to be like, we're just basically going to have to become like justices of the peace and stuff, so we can sign documents and witness documents and stuff like that. Then we just facilitate the submission of the documents.
I already have that power.
Make sure everything happens.
I have a special ability. I already have that power. But yeah, I don't need to do that. All right. Can we get back to talking about history and stop talking about your prostitute college? It's just a giant scam to... How many girls do you reckon you're going to hook up with this? Hang on, before we go back, how many girls do you reckon are going to sign up? How much room have you got?
Oh, it's a big building.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's a full university campus.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so it's I think we've got around 30,000 places.
Yeah. You should build factories next door.
Factories?
Or like start nightclubs in the area. Like they're going to be very successful.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a good.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we do want to offer pathways to careers, right? So you can get your career started early there.
You know how you can
maybe long street. We'll make sure that there's long streets that people can drive down.
Do you know how you can go to CIT and get a haircut?
People can stand on the side.
You can go to CIT and get a haircut from like people who are learning to like cut hair. Be just like that.
Yeah.
She's not there yet.
Smart.
I apologize for it, but we'll give you half price. He's like, yeah, okay. We're sorry. She's not up to scratch. You know, we do apologize, but that's what you get. You know, she's not fully educated yet.
Well, and the funniest thing about that is there'd be someone else in the room critiquing. Yeah. Be like, not quite. Yeah. You're gonna wanna lick the balls.
Yeah.
You wanna work the balls.
Yeah. Now we're going back to it. Now we're going back.
All right. Back to the episode.
Do you know where Normandy is? North France.
No. There's a beach there.
Yes.
I know that.
That's Normandy.
Yeah.
That area is Normandy. That area is
north.
It's between. It's sort of the bit under England, north bit of France. So it was very protected. Like, so they could actually protect the English Channel with the Vikings coming down from Sweden and the Scandinavian area.
Because it's like beach and then what? Straight up into the hills.
Yeah, if they try and come into France, they have to come from the north, or they have to go right the way around. But he's up there defending that area.
Yeah.
So this works extremely well. He's quite successful. He's quite a good war chief. He's got good men. He defends against the Vikings. So there was another pub.
I think that the beach there is really good for building like sandcastles. Like they can build like big sandcastles that like men can live in for like weeks.
In Normandy, on the beaches.
On the beach, yeah.
Okay.
Men build sandcastles there, and they just live in them for like weeks or months.
I would have thought you would have brought up the World War II stuff about Normandy, but
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They built sandcastles and they lived in there for months.
Okay. Well, yes. No, I don't think they did that. This seems... I don't know what we're listening to. You're going to have to apologise for more shit next week for fucking spreading your fucking...
I'm talking about trenches.
You're telling...
you dumb fuck.
Well, they didn't really... they didn't do much trenching in World War II for a start either, for the record, but...
Wouldn't they have dug it? They would have dug in there.
Oh, the Germans would have, I guess, yeah.
No.
But not on the actual beach. They're sort of off the... They're not digging in sand, you dickhead. They'd be like up on like the hills around.
I thought they just got stuck on the beach. The guys when they invaded the beach, didn't they get? They got stuck there. They got pinned down, didn't they?
Yeah, but you're 100. No, but that's the invaders. The people who were like defending it are probably like 100 meters back from the beach. Maybe.
I'm not talking about the defenders. I'm talking about the invaders.
Well, if they spent more than 3 days on that beach, they were all going to die. So they had to get off the beach. So they didn't stay there for a month in sandcastles. You can apologise for this next week as well. But yeah, so now you got me off thing. What are we up to? Okay, so as part of the treaty, he had to marry the daughter, convert to Christianity, but he also had to bend the knee to the new king. Because even though he's a lord, he's still now under the king. So the bishop suggested that Rollo to kiss the king's foot to prove his allegiance.
Yeah. Rollo's not going to like that.
So Rollo refused, saying, "I'll never bow my knees to any man, and I will kiss no man's foot."
Are we talking about what's the foot? Are we talking about a bare foot? Are we talking about a foot in a sock or a foot in a shoe with a sock?
I believe it's a bare king's foot.
A bare foot. What about with like a sort of like a condom over it? Do you reckon he'd kiss that foot? Like a safe.
I think you would have.
A safe foot. If he put the condom over it, if it was a safe foot.
I think you're missing the point of this. I think it's more about it's not about actually kissing the foot.
It's about the symbolism.
It's the symbolism of the bending the knee situation. It's not about bending the knee, it's about what bending the knee means.
Oh, I see.
You are submitting to this person's rule and that they are your overlord.
He's like, all right, I'll kiss the foot, but I'm not letting you blow your foot load on my face.
No, he actually commands one of his warriors to kiss the foot for him.
Oh, I see, a champion.
so and he gets the champion. It's a giant.
Does that mean
giant warrior? Yeah.
Does that mean that the king can nominate a champion to be his foot as well?
That's a good question. No, I don't think so. But he's agreed to. He's got his.
He's got two random guys out there, one kissing another's foot.
Yeah, I just went on like, he's just cool. He's just like, all right, I got a job for you. What are you gonna do? I need you to kiss the king's foot for me. Oh, I'm not gonna do it, but I need you. You're the guy. You're the guy I've picked.
Yeah, it's like his second week. He's just like, fuck, man. Then you look like such a bitch too, because not only are you kissing some guy's foot, but you've been told to do it by another guy.
The dude's apparently quite big. So the king then raises his foot to the warrior, and instead
hold on, more specifics, top side or bottom side? If he's raising his foot,
okay,
you have to kiss the bottom.
Yeah, you're ready for this. All right, so the warrior walks up to the seat where the king is seated on the throne.
Yeah.
He then puts his foot out from the chair for the warrior to kiss the foot.
To the bottom, yeah.
Yeah. The warrior then refuses to, instead of kneeling down and kissing the foot, he grabs the foot and brings it up to, a higher height to kiss the foot.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. This causes the king to fall off the chair.
I think this is a good compromise. He's still kissing the foot, but he's not bending the knee.
But he's not bending the knees.
Not bending the knee, yeah.
But he's caused the king to sort of fall a little bit off his chair. Yeah. And
Had the king had an Ottoman, wouldn't have happened.
And all the new Vikings all have a good laugh about that. And the story is meant to portray the fact that, again, this is another one of those stories that's a bit dodgy. But it's supposed to portray the fact that he never really submitted fully to the king because we're apart from them. So yeah, I thought it was a strange story, but anyway. So Normandy prospered under this new regime because it had such good farmland as well. Vikings were just coming to retire there. So like you get
and protect. Like that, as in like they'd retire and be like, yeah, we'll protect you from whatever.
Give us some farmland, we'll join the army when someone comes to invade. Hey, instead of invading, just come and grab a farm. They got the best farmland in France.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you've had that just bread and cheese from there, like, so good.
Yeah.
French bread. Dude, I remember, like, you just go down to like a local, like a delicatessen in France. You just get like fucking baguette, like some meat and cheese, and it's like the best thing you've ever eaten. So good.
Yeah, like all these locals are all peasants. Like they can't, they're shit. Like they're all pussies. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can have whatever you want.
Have whatever you want. Free land. All we got to do is protect ourselves from ourselves, and we're all good.
Want more land? Just kill the farmer next door. He's an absolute pussy. Yeah.
It became the second biggest city in France. We're going a bit further ahead, but it became a huge trading hub for Europe and became the second biggest city in France. He stayed true to his word and he built churches for France and answered calls for battles by the king after his... so like when the king needed him, he did actually answer the call and join battle when it was requested. So he held up his end of the bargain.
Yeah.
He died 928 to 933 AD. He was in his 80s at the time. So this confirmed that he made it past 80 in what? The 800s.
That's pretty good. And fighting too.
And fighting, exactly. Just to show that his loyalty to both churches, he gave a lot of gold to the Catholic Church before he died, and he also executed 100 prisoners for Odin. So he sort of hedged his bets and gave money to both. so he could get into heaven or Valhalla, whichever one turned out to be real, I guess. I don't think you can do that. I'm not like, I thought that was definitely against Christianity. Like you can't just be like, all right, it's one true God.
I don't think so.
You definitely can't do that. So like,
okay. What you'd have to do, so you can, you definitely can. Well, it depends on what Odin's rules are. So if Odin's cool with it, then yeah, you probably can. But then what you have to do, like to play God for a fool, the Christian God, you have to then just repent at the last minute. So basically you can live your life as like not a Christian at all, and then on your deathbed you go and like do confession, you're absolved of your sins, you take the Lord Jesus Christ as your savior, and you're good to go. You're good to go in heaven. As long as you've been baptized, you're sweet. Gone through
okay.
Better if you've gone through confirmation. Yeah, so that's what you'd have to do. So as long as Odin's okay with you doing that at the end, yeah, you're sweet.
I'm pretty sure there's like one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not take another god.
Yeah, but
you should only worship me, the one true
but as
God.
long as you take him last, you're good.
But you killed 100 prisoners. You killed 100 prisoners. Like, surely that's against Christianity.
Yeah, but have you not been to... So when you go to confession, you're absolved of all your sins. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, okay.
So you're good. The only thing that I know... Yeah, I don't know what Odin's rules are. The only thing I know about Odin was that he was one of the guardian forces in Final Fantasy VIII. He was like an optional boss, and you could get him, but you couldn't control him like you could the other Guardian forces. He would just come into battle sometimes, and it was awesome. Like, you'd go into a battle, and he would just like randomly turn up, like, I don't know, one in every like 10 battles or something, and he would just slice your opponent in half, and you wouldn't even have to battle them. It was sick. That's really all I know about Odin. I assume it's the same Odin.
Haven't you seen Thor and the like? You've seen like the Avenger movies and stuff, Thor and Odin and shit. Like that's.
Oh, I guess yeah.
That's some basic information. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. You've seen that, surely.
I think I've seen that one. I've seen the first one. I might have seen the second one. I've seen Thor Ragnarok, which people loved, and I absolutely hated.
That's a good movie.
No, I thought it was kind of boring. Watched it on a cruise ship. I didn't like it.
Hang on. Okay, so he's died. He's succeeded by his son, William Longsword, and his grandchild, Richard the Fearless, who eventually forged the full Duchy of Normandy.
What's a duchy?
It's a, like, area.
Oh, okay.
Like a big area. Like, a big area. Like a country. So there's, like, France, and there's, like, duchies. There's, like, bigger sections of land.
Oh, it's like how Canada calls their states provinces.
Yeah.
Just to be a little bit different.
It'd be exactly like that. It's a state. It'd be like a state. They quickly became French and everything they did, so their language changed to French. Within 2 generations, they're speaking French. They've adopted French ways.
Yeah.
Apart from their lineage.
Classic gentrification.
Yeah.
Well, they're still eating gross shit like that, that fish that you can get. It's like the surströmming or whatever the fuck it's called. And it's like fermented fish in a can. It's disgusting.
It says that they turn their ways to French. I don't know if I didn't see fish on the things of we kept the fish thing going.
Yeah, they became fully French except for surströmming or whatever the hell it's called. They kept that.
So they kept the haircuts and other things. His great grandchild was William the Conqueror, the old 1066.
Oh.
Yes,
sounds familiar.
Okay, and for all intents and purposes, Rollo is related to every European royal currently alive today, in theory.
Like the Windsors.
Well, yeah, so it's not just the English throne, it's every throne.
Spanish and...
Well, yeah, because his lineage has gone down so far, he marries into the French throne. He's obviously his great-grandchild conquers England. His family dominate the English throne until now. A weird fact I found just to end our podcast for today, Ron, is there was a genetic investigation into Rollo's grandson, Richard the Fearless, and his great-grandson, Richard the Good, on the 29th of February 2016. So they were going to do DNA testing on these 2 tombs. But it turned out they weren't related to Rollo, and in fact were older than Rollo. So everyone was a little bit confused as to what's going on with that.
Oh, we don't have an answer.
Well, no, there's no answer. They found these 2 tombs. They took it out, did DNA tests. When
it's meant to be his grandson and great-grandson.
Yes, exactly. They're meant to be his grandson, his great-grandson. And instead,
when you say older, like they can tell, like what, like a few years or 50 years is, or whatever. Like it's fairly detailed, the carbon dating or whatever they're using.
Not a scientist. I don't want to say anything that would indicate that I would know anything that I'm talking about. It just says that turned out the bodies actually were predated Rollo. So they're older than Rollo.
Interesting.
So I was like, well,
or the dates, or the history books are wrong.
Mess up the dates, the history books. It's a bit of a disaster, which just proves how much of a bullshit story this all could have been. A book could come out tomorrow and it turns out that it could prove all this information to be incorrect.
Could just be a conspiracy theory to sell candy bars, 1,200 years later.
Well, it's sort of, he definitely becomes, because he obviously definitely existed, because when he becomes the ruler of Normandy, because he takes over these French customs, all of a sudden he becomes, a French citizen. So they start writing everything down. They all of a sudden start writing everything down. So that's when they do have records. It's when he's a Viking that they've got no written word. And it's all just legends. So as soon as he becomes that Norman lord, when he's 50-something, the history is quite good because we know exactly what he did. But before that, it's all myth and legend, really. Viking stories. He's my favourite Viking. I like him a lot.
He's not bad.
Just sold everyone out for French.
Yeah, sort of. I don't know. I don't feel like he was a sellout. I think he'd be a sellout if he attacked them, but he was just get out of here, scamps. Get off my lawn.
No, I'm sure he definitely fought them.
Yeah. But he didn't attack them. It's not like he do you know what I mean? It's if he went and gave them information which they then used to destroy their villages, the Viking villages or something like that. You know what I mean? That would be worse. But he's just been yeah, okay, I'll just protect this bit. And then I'm guessing when they turn up, he can speak their language. He's just fuck off, or I'll make you pay. And they're they can either, then they got the choice to fuck off, or
or they just stay, get good farmland, come help us. We'll go
exactly.
Raid next
he helped
door.
out.
We'll
exactly, he helped
door.
out a bunch of them. Yeah, he helped out a bunch of them. I think he's all right.
I think it's a bit dodgy. I don't know. Should have taken the throne himself. But anyway, he does take the English throne eventually. Well, his great-great-grandchild does. Very powerful. All right. We'll talk to you next week.
History Squirt.